What's up, guys? Hey, from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a double move route that absolutely destroys man coverage. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Madden YouTube channel. If you guys are looking to take your game to the next level in Madden 21, please check out my brand new Madden strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is a one-stop source for everything you need to know about Madden at its highest level. Every single week in our Sunday Vault updates, we take a look at a competitive meta, break it down so you understand how it works, but most importantly, show you ways that you can counter it. That way you guys are equipped to either use it or counter it when you come up against it in online head-to-head. On top of that, your subscription to the website includes not only those Vault updates, but any and all offensive and defensive game plans. And we just released our Washington football team offense, 30 plus videos, 3+ hours of content out of the bunch week, the bunch open offset, the empty bunch, and the gun tight. This is my largest ever game plan project in my 13-year history of doing competitive Madden content. So head over to Gridiron Game Plans, give it a look. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into today's video, guys. We're going to be taking a look at the Steelers offense, the gun empty Steeler. And the play that we're going to be looking at is known as Steeler Switch. Now, we're looking at it primarily for one reason, and that is the route to the outside receiver on the trip side. So if you take a look here, we're looking at the route that Deontay Johnson is on. So we're going to go ahead and take the field here. I'm going to go ahead and call the typical meta coverage, which is going to be our man coverage. A lot of players are going to set their curl flats to varying depths. The important thing to note here is that curl flats are just on the outside, so it doesn't really doesn't matter what depth you set your curl flats to. Those are going to play the outside sideline. And what's great about this move in this video is that it breaks to the inside against man coverage, and also the one step ahead ability has no shot against it. So I'm going to go ahead and set my curl flats to 25 yards. And we'll come out in just a regular robber type of coverage. Let's go ahead and call 146 cover one robber. I mean, we've all seen this at this point. This is one of the most popular coverage metas out there. So as we know, a lot of players, and I'm going to go ahead and spot the ball here, put your trips to the wide side, and we'll go ahead and put the purple zones on the field. What a lot of players are going to do is they're going to let their front three rush, and they're going to drop their extra players into those curl flats, which they've set to 25 yards or 15 yards, or based off of the down and distance, they're going to adjust those zones. Now, the great thing about this is that with this play, we can attack the middle of the field if they have a 3-rec hook, and we can attack the sideline with minimal adjustments. So when you talk about a 3-rec hook, if I were to reset this play, for instance, and I were to show you what a 3-rec hook is, this zone is relative to the 3 receiver side of the field. So McCourty is going to fly down on the trip side of the field. Now, what he wants to do is he wants to play the third receiver outside to in. So if we show you this route combination here, you see that you've got 3 routes. You've got this route that's a snag route, basically a slant and sit. You've got a flat, which breaks to the outside. And then you've got this double move pivot to back to the inside. Now, the 3 receiver hook is going to cover the route that is third to the inside. So if you look at how this play works out, Smith-Schuster is going to jump to the flat. Ebron's going to break inside and sit, and Johnson's going to run his double move. So the way this should work is you're looking for McCourty probably to be jumping Ebron, as he'll be the third receiver from outside to in after the ball is snapped, even though he's the middle receiver right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click off on McCourty here. I'm just going to chill and kind of let this run as a stock play. And we're going to kind of show you how to manipulate that through that hook. So I'm going to go ahead and snap the ball. You notice how McCourty goes and flies down on that hook curl to the regular snag route. Now, what I want to do is I want to get him out of the way. I want to get him out of the way because I don't want him sitting underneath of the route that we wanted to throw. Now, you'll notice that I threw the ball to the pivot route, and that's the route that's of focus on this video. This route is unreal. This is one of the best routes in the game against man coverage. You have Stephon Gilmore has the one step ahead ability, which means that he's going to be able to predict the route and jump the cut. But you see how this double move route gets good separation. And sorry about this being a little bit warpy here in the replay menu, but you're going to notice that this route beats that ability very, very consistently. Now, the cool thing about this is that if I want to get Ebron out of the way, So we run this the exact same way with the 3-rec hook. I would just recommend dragging him. And the reason I would drag him is because that's going to pull him further across the middle and should pull that vertical hook that 3-rec hook to McCourty further. So you don't want McCourty, like you see in the previous replay, just sitting over the middle of the field underneath where that route we wanted to throw was, because if he has acrobat, if he has some sort of zone breaking ability, we've all seen guys make unrealistic animations on the ball before. So you kind of want to get him out of the way. And you'll notice that if we were to take Ebron and say, hey, instead of just chilling right here, why don't you go ahead and drag across the field into this area? He should pull McCourty further away from the lane that we want to throw to. So let's go ahead and break that down here. So again, instead of the snag route, we use a drag, and then I'll just go ahead and flat Samuels. You could honestly streak him, so you got a little dagger concept on the backside if they play cover 2. That will allow Washington to be open down the seam on his in cut. But if you're facing straight up man cover 1, you're going to see how that route kind of pulls. Now, again, I'm throwing the ball to Deontay Johnson here. This is a guy that does not have route running. So I want to show that this route is something that, yes, the vast majority of the time, a guy like Deontay Johnson is going to beat a guy like Gilmore, but then I'm going to put in Juju, and you're going to see how much better this route gets. But you can definitely see how Johnson is beating his guy, but Gilmore, due to just having the insane ability in man coverage, is actually able to kind of make the diving catch while Johnson is not really doing anything. I'm also not clicking on. If I were to try to click on and, like, say, aggressive catch that, you're going to be able to catch that ball on Gilmore pretty easily. If you try to rack it, there's a chance he won't animate. But you're going to see, again, if I just click on an aggressive catch it, he will catch it. So you see right here, like, I could just go ahead and do that pretty easily. And he's going to cook Gilmore pretty consistently. I mean, you see the results here. I think we're 3 of 5, and we're 3 of 3 aggressive catching it. So you can kind of see, again, right there, that route's going to be able to win very, very consistently. So now he's out of the zone. Now let's go ahead and break down the man coverage meta if they were to do the purple drop zone. So we've talked about these 25-yard or 15-yard purple drop zones. Now the beauty of this is that there's no zone in the middle of the field now. So you can go to this route combination where you can trust that the middle of the field is going to be wide open. Those zones are going to drop so far to the outside, and then you can kind of just throw that ball over the middle and make the aggressive catch. Now, the beauty of this formation is that this is a 5-wide formation, so a lot of players aren't going to key in on what you're doing. So, you can attack the middle with, if they're not playing a 3-rec hook, you don't need to do the drag thing. I mean, you can just go ahead and do, you could do whips, you could do slants, you could literally set up something like this, just kind of motion snap, and you're going to be able to, throw these routes very consistently and make them have to work underneath on the slants and the whips and the drags, and that's going to open up that pivot route on the outside. Now, I have been cooking Gilmore with Deontay Johnson here in this video, but I am going to sub him out for a better receiver, and we're going to put in Juju Smith-Schuster. So I'm going to make that swap right there and have Gilmore against Juju here. Now, even still, this isn't like a route technician. This is just a guy who can run routes, just a better route running ability type player. So, you could go ahead and, if you're facing nothing but purple zone man coverage, you could go ahead and, run it that way. Another thing you could do with this play, if you want, is smart route this so it breaks a little bit sooner. If you're getting pass rush and guys are shedding, you could smart route the double move to help you out a little bit. So you see here, I could go ahead and run this. Here's the double move. You see how Juju, you could do the same thing at a shallow depth. And actually right there, our route just pulled McCourty over the middle, and he made the tip on that. But I prefer the deeper version of the pivot for some reason this year. So, if you're facing nothing but the purple zones in cover 3, and they're letting these front 3 rush, and they're just kind of usering in the middle of the field with this guy, obviously you're going to want the deeper route because it just, to me, it breaks in a better spot, a spot that not a lot of players like to use her. And again, you could use this motion just to kind of clear out the 3-rec hook. You definitely see here how that works. See how Juju is like 3 yards open. Honestly, I probably could have rat caught that too. But we'll go ahead and kind of show this to you here again. Say for instance, they were to run a purple and a 3-rec hook. Maybe they're running a purple. They're just trying to get zones in the area, right? What you're going to end up doing is trying to pull that 3-rec hook with this slant. So you're going to see how that slant pulls him. But again, you need to be careful. To me, I like the drag a little bit better because you notice how that 3-rec hook is pulling back off of that slant as it crosses underneath, and then it's just chilling in the middle of the field. So if you know that there's a 3-rec hook on the play, I would really recommend dragging the player that's right here. So you see right here how he covers it and then he falls back to the middle of the field. And we're taking a look right here at the slant for those that are not following. See, watch how he covers the slant and then boom, he's back over the middle of the field into this throw. And that's what you want to be careful with. Honestly, in the examples I've thrown here in this video, you're going to have far better luck aggressive catching this than trying to rack it. When you try to rack it, you end up with more of these knockouts. And again, this is against the one step ahead ability as well. So we're going to go ahead and round off the video by subbing a regular corner into that spot, a guy that doesn't have a man coverage ability. I still want to go with a guy that's a good cover player. So let me go ahead and go back. We're in the empty Steeler, and the play that we're running is known as Steeler switch. Now I'm going to go ahead and call, let's go ahead and call that 146 again. And I'm going to put, I'm just going to put JC Jackson over there, who doesn't have a man coverage ability. And we can go to work against that. So, you know, if you're worried about the 3-rec hook, you can just drag Ebron over the middle. He should pull that player. And then here we go with the pivot move. And you can see, you know, you can still throw that ball. You can still throw that ball and aggressive catch it. It's going to beat guys regardless of abilities. One of the things this year early on, for me at least, is I don't really feel like defensive abilities are that good. I really, really don't. So there we go. That's more of the route we're looking at. See how the regular man coverage gets absolutely spun. That's more of what we're looking for right there, where you know, your guy is just going to be absolutely, you know, out of the loop. So again, this is going to absolutely destroy man coverage. And then one step ahead ability, which so many players are putting on Dre Bly in Mutt, doesn't really have a chance either. Again, you see, I mean, look, he's open by 20 yards. I mean, it's it's pretty crazy. So if you guys like the video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, go ahead and drop those below. This route is a little bit rare. You can find it in many playbooks. If you guys like to run the U trips, go ahead and look at the play tight end whip. It is a pivot route to the outside that works in very similar fashion. But go ahead and give it a look. Let me know what you guys think. We'll see you guys later.